final score against TNT A versus TNT B, A42, B nil. Up next, more women pool action as we see Dominican Republic taking on Mexico. Stay tuned for more women's action here at the Rugby Americas North 7s 2024.
You can't ask for more TNT action than that. Now we have Mexico and the Dominican Republic. Mexico about to kick off to Las Tajinas. Great catch from De Jesus. Nice controlled ruck from the Dominican Republic. They're looking for space, passing it down the line. Now they're charging through, trying to draw in the Mexican defenders. And there is the space they're looking for. Great offload to Castillo, the vice captain. Mexico, a green wall in defense, making the Dominican Republic work for every yard they gain.
Well, Mexico have already secured their spot in the championship final later today. DR have been lethal at moments over this weekend.
We're definitely seeing from both of these sides the impact of the development work that they have been doing and the additional competition that they're getting. That was a massive drive from Dominican Republic. Referee Caleb Hector calls it back to the spot.
Been very impressed with Caleb Hector, match official for this one from Trinidad and Tobago. There's a shot of Alessandra Bender. She's been absolutely lethal so far in this weekend. Her and Isabella Gonzalez. Here's Martinez. A little show and go. Molina. Not releasing penalty in favor of Mexico. Amy Ramos. She's been stellar this weekend as well. This is the 5th game of rugby in 3 days, Maria. The athletes are starting to feel it now.
Las Mexicanas, powered by Iberdrola, renewable energy, and we're seeing it now as they renew the ball, recycling it through the team.
Here's Louisa Wilson into the hands of Bender, and she is gone. Well, what happened there? Bender, did she get it down? Need to see a replay on this one.
The Mexican women's team showing so much ability to transition from the division, the types of the sport. Bender there, we see, ooh.
Well, I think she had the downward pressure. It's all good, but giving a heart attack to the Mexican fans. A little bobble from the veteran.
Great hands holding onto the ball. The kick is not converted. Bender, one of the many players for the Mexican national team who played both 15s and 7s rugby. The women played 15s, their first international test match in July, and they are playing versus Jamaica coming up in December.
That one spilled forward off a DR hand. Bender has it now. She finds Ramos. Running sideways, looking for support. Big tackle in the midfield now. Tackle coming in from Gio Cruz. Scored a couple big tries yesterday. Here's Bender. She's wrapped up, taken back. Laura Rodriguez finds Ramos. Little fake kick. Gets past the defender. On the outside. Not able to grab that one is Gisela De Leon. A lot of rugby. 6 games in 3 days. 1 game on Friday, 3 yesterday, and 2 here today for these ladies.
Dominican Republic looking fresh and crisp in their kit from Korea Pro. They're moving the ball out, using the line. Great switch.
Up into contact. Henriquez. Well, Not putting the ball down is the call from the referee. Opportunity now for Ramos.
Mexico leading 5-0 over the Dominican Republic.
Mexico is trying all that they can to get closer to the try here on the Dominican Republic line. Now about to see a line out. Mexico.
If you're just joining us, beautiful conditions here now, but there was a big rainstorm about an hour ago, so the field is still a little soggy for these athletes, but thankfully no more rain. Here's Bender. She's on the front foot, gets past one, and finds her player on the outside. Here's De Leon in the corner, touching it down. Marlene Henriquez can't stop her. Gisela Marlon De Leon from the Tigres Rugby Club in her 8th tournament representing Mexico.
Mexico adding 5 points, taking their lead to 10-0. Ramos with the conversion kick. Unsuccessful kick. Mexico will keep their 10-point lead over the Dominican Republic as we look at this replay.
All started from Bender. She's shimmying and shaking, and she finds De Leon on the outside. Henriquez tries to stop her, but reaching out, dotting it down. Second try here for Mexico.
Mexico really dominating this first half of the game. We've seen the tides turn, so we'll see what happens. Dominican Republic really wants to put points on the board and close that gap before the halftime whistle blows.
Well, Mexico are going to trot in for another easy one here. Gio Cruz couldn't handle that restart. She's still down. Playing in her first tournament for the Dominican Republic. Try scored by Mexico.
Mexico comfortably extending their lead.
Against that play in the earlier movement. As we await the conversion.
If there's more to play in this half, it's up to the referee. Successful conversion. 2 more points for Mexico.
There's Cruz getting a bit of medical attention. Almost looks like a contact in the eye situation. As we see, bobbled restart. Oh, it was the boot in the eye, accidental from Louisa Wilson. That's what it was, as you saw, accidental contact up in the face.
The medical team's always there, ready to make sure that player welfare is first and foremost in this tournament. Number 12, Castro, coming onto the pitch. Cruz will take a breather, and it's Henriquez with the ball now.
Should be the last play of this opening half. Here's Adriana Castillo, the vice captain for DR. On this near side, still going. Tackle by De Leon, the try scorer. Into contact there is Molina. Henriquez. Martinez spins it out. Castillo in the contact. Wide spin pass. Now. Yasmin Valerio into contact. But the penalty in favor of Mexico, not what DR needs here at the end of this first half. They want to continue playing on. Could have kicked it out to end the half. Here's Bender on the outside. Wow, she's grabbed, I think, by the hair on this near touchline. Up into contact now is Wilson. Has one try in this match. Great ball up the middle. Gloria Espindola. Wow, she's tackled. She releases it, gets back up onto her feet. What a line, Maria.
Absolutely beautiful. You could just see her pumping her legs, channeling that power, and driving in for that try. 22 points to Mexico, 0 points yet to the Dominican Republic. Conversion kick here for Mexico.
Well, Maria, interesting call. Instead of taking a tap and kicking it out to end the half, they've played in almost an extra 3.5 minutes in this first half. As we see the replay here, what a line. That is beautiful. Gloria Espindola gets tackled, releases the ball back up to her feet and dots it down. That's textbook stuff as they further their lead heading into the half.
So 22 points to 0, no conversion from that try. Mexico is definitively leading the Dominican Republic as we see the huddles. Brian, what advice do you think the Dominican Republic is receiving in their halftime talk?
Well, they're without their captain, Zambon. I think she's looked like she's stepping into a coaching role there. Doesn't have the boots on. Well, you know, you're down 22-0. You need to get the ball in hand. You need possession. They've got some speedsters on this DR team. They've got some attacking threats that we've seen. They need to get the ball in their hands and stop taking penalties. Here's Bender scoring that first try around the outside as awkwardly as possible. Bobbled a couple of times like a bar of soap in the bathtub. But she does get it down with downward pressure. Here's Bender on the attack once again. She's going to find De Leon, who's got the pace on the outside. Henriquez tries to make the tackle unsuccessfully. And off the restart, Cruz not able to gather that pill. Mexico's Louisa Wilson touching down for the third score of the half. And check out this line. Right up the guts there is Gloria Espindola. As we said earlier, textbook release, pop back up to the feet. Espindola, thumbs up, all smiles from Mexico.
Some historic milestones for the Dominican Republic. Patricia Coma, she's the first female head coach of the Dominican Republic's national rugby team. She has been a trailblazing rugby player. We love to see that development. Isauri Mosocos, she's the assistant coach, and she was the first female association president. She currently serves as president of the Hermanas Mirabal Rugby Association and is a voting member of the federation.
Mexico leads against Dominican Republic 22-0.
The Dominican Republic kicking off now to Mexico. Mexico leads 22 points to 0 as we begin the second half of this match.
Well, not the restart the Dominican Republic was looking for. Fresh on the pitch now, Isabella Gonzalez. Didn't see her at all in the first half. Here's Graciela Rodriguez off the tap. Here's Rodriguez on the outside now to Wilson, back inside ball. Ortiz. Rodriguez, hard line coming in from Gonzalez. Not rolling away, penalty against the Dominican Republic.
We see great discipline from both Mexican teams. The women, as mentioned, have done an excellent job in the sevens circuit, and they had their first 15s test match this year with another one coming next month. We're really seeing how they've transitioned the speed and power that they have in sevens into 15s as well.
Eugenia Robles up into contact. Now Gonzalez, she's taken down inches from that touchline. Robles Back inside ball. Brilliant. And once again, the last set of hands. Gonzalez can't grab that one. Go Gadget arms just not quite long enough.
Here we see the replay. Great work through the line, but just a little tip forward. A relief for the Dominican Republic, as they will have the put-in for this scrum.
Well, how about this? The hooker in your shot for the Dominican Republic, Gracie Martinez, just awarded the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award from President Biden for the amount of service put into youth rugby and football. That's an unbelievable accomplishment for the woman from the Dominican Republic.
Better believe it.
High tackle from the DR player. They do have a player down who is holding her stomach. Here's Gonzalez. Spun out by Rodriguez. Reaching forward. I don't think she had possession. That's Louisa Wilson. Had a try earlier, knocking it on. Well, as we know in rugby, you are allowed to make one movement after a tackle. So as we get a replay here, you'll see Maria, she was tackled, has every single right here to reach out and go for the line without making a big second movement. No problem, but loses possession of it. Heartbreaking stuff for Mexico.
Not quite there, just guessing how much slide the pitch has left in it. Hola a todos in the Dominican Republic. The executive committee, Rafael Silvero, Rafael Dominguez, Davide Belline, so many people who put in a lot of work behind this team.
Free kick awarded now to Mexico. Unbelievable attacking platform here on the 5. Here's Rodriguez. She finds Gonzalez. Good hand fend once, good hand fend twice. Wrapped up by Martinez, driven towards the touchline. Getting it down in the corner though. That will be try time for Carla Ortiz. Emotionless.
Now leading 27-0. As we wait.
It is the third day of Rugby America's North Sevens 2024 Larry Gomes Stadium in Arima, Trinidad and Tobago. An incredible amount of rugby being played today as we look at the replay.
Gonzalez tried to get it done herself, offloading out the back to Ortiz, smashing over Yasmin Valerio Castro for DR. Well, Mexico setting themselves up for the championship final later today. One last women's game of the pool stages to come. Jamaica against Barbados. Jamaica need to win that game to qualify.
Such amazing support here from our stakeholders in Trinidad and Tobago. The volunteer team, absolutely incredible. This cannot happen without them. You've seen some of them around the pitch, retrieving the balls, the medical service. We have our referees, assistant referees, and the entire team, scorekeeping and timekeeping. Ah, there we have. Perfect shot. Thank you to everyone who has come together to host these amazing unions here in Trinidad and Tobago.
Rodriguez under all sorts of pressure. She swats it back. Now Rodriguez. Penalty in favor of Mexico. Guess who's got it? Gonzalez. She will not be denied. Isabella Gonzalez. Said her name so many times this weekend.
I can hear the sound rising from the stands, cheering. That sounds like the Mexico fans. We're hearing rah-rah energy, so perhaps that is Jamaica. There are so many chants and cheers happening in the stadium, coming from the fans, coming from the teams. Many of these countries, they have their national men's team, they have their national women's team, so they have traveled with extra support.
Gonzalez, the try scorer, gets us back underway. Gathered by Martinez. Here's Valerio. Finds Cruz. Tackled well. Here's Alexandra Martinez Mitchell for Dominican Republic. Fearless tackling there from Graciela Rodriguez of Mexico. Ashley Amparo now.
You could see her hunting for a space through.
Good hand fend from Cruz. She's wrapped up in the tackle by Eugenia Robles. Penalty in favor of Mexico. Going to slow things down a bit here, nearing the end of this match. Big collision there off the tap from the penalty. Mexico on the front foot, spinning it out as Rodriguez. She finds Bernal. Here's Wilson, going for the offload, but it's been gathered by Gracie Martinez. Here's DR. Cruz.
Great defense from the Dominican Republic. Access denied in defense. They turned over the ball, but now Mexico has it again.
Robles. Well, she finds her teammate Laura Bernal. This will be the try to secure the victory for Mexico. Clear favorites heading into the Cup final. 34-0 with the conversion attempt to come. Conversion attempt is unsuccessful. Mexico winning this one, 34-0. In at the corner there, Laura Bernal.
Beautiful pop off there from Portillo into the hands of Ramos. That is the game. We can hear the whistling and cheering in the crowd. Great support. 39-0 is the final score in favor of Mexico over the Dominican Republic.
This is Jamaica versus.
Well, it was one-way traffic for Mexico. There's Isabela Gonzalez. She finds Carla Ortiz scoring in the corner. Too many penalties from the Dominican Republic. Here's Gonzalez. Quick tap. She will not be denied as she smashes over. Mexico